Saturday's supplementary elections in Rivers State. Hoodlums stop arrest suspected drug dealer in Mile 3 Dio, Port Harcourt. Police begin move to apprehend abductors of PDP chieftain in Port Harcourt. Court reinstates Ifeanyi Ararume as NNPC chairman. On the foreign scene, court in India begins historic same-sex marriage debate. I am Kala Dakuru Batabo. Good afternoon. Remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of any nation. Let peace reign. Reactions are still trailing the conduct of last Saturday's supplementary election in Rivers State. Speaking with correspondent Soibi Oruwari, the focal person of an election monitoring group known as Yaga in Rivers State, Obina Egbogidi, said this organization is not surprised that there was voter apathy during last Saturday's supplementary election. Ms. Egbogidi said INEC still needs to do more work to convince citizens in future elections.
We are not surprised at all to see the very low turnout that graced the federal presidential election in Faga. Having been hugely disappointed by the shortcomings of those two previous elections, we knew that a lot of eligible voters were going to stay away. It's quite sad that in an election where you were expected close to 190 voters to participate, the number of persons who came out to elect the federal lawmaker fell short of even close to 30% of that figure. Also, NYCOP coordinator in one of the Ogoni communities, Godwin Winwa, advised those who did not win to approach the tribunal and avoid actions capable of heating up the polity in Ogoni axis.
We need to move on as a people and we to accept whatever outcome of the result of the elections. As a practicing democratic nation, those who are not contented with the election candidates open ground for tribunal. What we don't want, we don't want inciting statements that will cause any havoc in Ogoni land or any part of Rivers State because of election. They have died a lot, they have suffered a lot.
Some residents of Port Harcourt also expressed diverse views over the outcome of the election.
It's not a big news that PDP won in the supplementary election on Saturday.
I'm not surprised that they announced everything before time. We know what will happen.
The government in power, they are using all means to make sure that PDP succeeds in the state. They're using their own time, spend money to make sure that PDP emerge victoriously in every pair.
The supplementary election was free and fair because there was no intimidation.
Nothing different. So all of them are carry go because there was no real election. That to shoot gun, worry people up and down, pursuing people. Don't like the way they are manipulating everything.
I wasn't surprised because it is PDP that always take the lead. There is nothing you can't change it. There is nothing you can do, no matter the voting.
Many people did not even know whether there was an election or not.
Meanwhile, the publicity secretary of the PDP in Rivers State, Sidney Barra, has disagreed with claims that there was voter apathy during the supplementary elections in Rivers State. Mr. Barra believes that those who came out to vote are those who have the interests of their parties at heart. Mr. Barra spoke while answering questions on Nigeria Info's Morning Crossfire.
Well, I won't completely agree to the fact that there were voter apathy because the election was conducted in two local governments. You know, politics is a game of negotiations, campaigns and all that. I would believe that those who have interests of their party came out to vote. You don't need to start giving excuses or presumptions.
In another development, the Rivers State Civil Society Organization is calling on relevant financial institutions and the legislature to audit and probe the Rivers State government account over allegations by Senator Dino Malloy that Governor Wike funded Kogi and other state PDP elections. Chairman of the organization, Enefa Jodrell, made the call in an interview.
The Rivers State Civil Society organizations call on relevant financial institutions and the legislature to audit and probe the Rivers State government account, especially as it relates to earnings and expenditure. We are making this call because of the mind-blowing allegations made by Senator Dino Malloy, who claimed on national TV that Governor Wike sponsored his 2019 gubernatorial elections in Kogi, in Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Abia State. As the foremost social coalition in the state, we are still struggling to understand the rationale behind the open donations of the Rivers State governor on citizens of other states, while my one market, which was gutted by fire since 2014, is yet to be completed.
Recall that Senator Dino Melaye on Arise TV last week said Governor Nyesom Wike was his biggest sponsor when he contested for the governorship seat in 2019. Senator Melaye said this while reacting to Governor Wike's recent threat that he will not support the PDP in the forthcoming Kogi State governorship poll if the party fielded him as its candidate. Moving on. Police in Vivid State have begun a manhunt for the abductors of a PDP chieftain who was abducted yesterday afternoon close to the Obirikwere flyover on East-West Road. Spokesperson of the River State Police Command, Grace Ringekoko, says the Commissioner of Police, CP Okon Effiong, has deployed a tactical team to ensure this release. SP Ringekoko said the personal aide to the abducted VIP was killed during the attack. She said the police officers attached to the abducted VIP was killed during the attack. She said the police officers attached to the man sustained injuries and are currently receiving treatment at the hospital. She did not disclose the identity of the man that was abducted. Earlier, an eyewitness, while narrating the incident, said the PDP chieftain's car was double-crossed by the abductors, which led to a heavy gun battle between the abductors and his police escort. The eyewitness said 2 persons died, with 3 others currently receiving treatment at the hospital.
One jeep like that, I was coming behind a black jeep with escorts. So one Sienna, there were some guys in the Sienna, they were with army camouflage. So they double crossed the jeep. They targeted the escort, so they exchanged gunshot. They shot the driver and on the side of the road, he missed control to this other side. The 2 policemen, they were unconscious, they rushed them. So the driver of that escort and one young man like that, they lost their life. The driver of the jeep that was carrying the politician came down like down flat. So these kidnappers, they carried the man and put in their white Sienna and left.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) River State Command has confirmed a mob attack on its personnel during operation in the state. Public Affairs Officer, Media and Head of Advocacy Unit of the Command, Emmanuel Ogungbada, in a statement said operatives of the agency in River State raided a hangout around Odunze Street, Mile 3 Diob on Friday, and a suspected drug dealer named Izu Isofia, popularly called 50, was apprehended with large quantity of cannabis sativa. He explained that the attack on the NDLEA officials started when the suspect tried to resist arrest, which resulted in a scuffle and attracted hoodlums. He said the hoodlums attacked NDLEA officers with bottles and stones and freed the already handcuffed suspect and carted away the exhibit before the arrival of the backup team. The statement also said that the State Commander Ahmed Mahmouda has tasked operatives of the command to deploy all necessary arsenals to ensure that the suspect and his cohorts are arrested and brought to justice. The chairman of MOA local government area, Chidi Lloyd, says normalcy has returned to Indele community after the military recovered rifles illegally collected from 2 office personnel by a member of the disbanded OSPAC, Gift Ajuru, on Sunday night. Dr. Lloyd tells correspondent Emeka Otuka that the soldiers have now retreated. He, however, said he's embarrassed the 2 Nigerian soldiers were disarmed by a civilian following disagreements over proceeds from illegal oil activities.
The rifles have been recovered and given back to the soldiers, and that may have informed the reason they have retreated. But that is not enough. We must get the criminal. That incident at Ndele made me feel very bad as a Nigerian. I felt ashamed as a Nigerian that a civilian have the capacity to disarm 2 Nigerian soldiers, collected their rifles, removed their uniform. And these are people who are trained to protect the territorial integrity of this country.
Dr. Lloyd also said the incident at Indele community has justified his claim that some army personnel are compromising the government's effort in the fight against illegal oil bunkering in the area.
Why were they found in that kind of compromising position? They went into the bush to meet Gift Ajuru to share from the proceeds of illegal oil bunkering, which is what I have been shouting. I'm talking about the military collaboration.
The paramount ruler of Rundele community in MOA local government area, Eze Damian Ejowo, says illegal oil refining will no longer be tolerated in the area. Eze Ejowo said this while reacting to Sunday's clash between a member of the disbanded OSPAC and army personnel in the community.
There's still bunkering in the Liberation, and I'm sure that from today, anybody they catch in bunkering will go in for it. Because the federal government offense, there was a little crisis between my community and the army. Our local vigilante here collected 2 automatic rifles and some live ammunition from the soldiers and the soldiers came in peacefully. They were not violent with their commander, one Colonel Manga. All my council of chiefs and all the opinion leaders in the community all came out in their numbers to interact with them. Our people that had those arms, we have recovered it from them and we are giving them back to the soldiers, and they have left. Nobody was killed in this community.
The Federal High Court in Abuja has reinstated Ifeanyi Ararume as the non-executive chairman of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited. Presiding Judge Justice Inyang Eko also nullified and set aside all decisions and resolutions of the board of the corporation made in the absence of Ararume from 17th January 2022 till date. The court further awarded a sum of 5 billion naira in his favor as damages for his wrongful removal and interruption of the term of office as the non-executive chairman of the NNPCL. Still ahead, Group threatens to stop inauguration of 10th National Assembly over tussle for presiding officer positions. Stay tuned as we go for a quick break. Welcome back. All national commissioners of the Independent National Electoral Commission are currently in a closed-door meeting at the Commission's national headquarters in Abuja. This is coming barely 24 hours after the electoral umpire directed his resident electoral commissioner in Adamawa State, Udu Yunusa Ari, to stay away from all activities of the electoral umpire and the election in Adamawa State. The Coalition for Women Participation in Governance and Leadership in Nigeria has threatened to take legal action to halt the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly if women are not considered for presiding officer positions in the Federal House of Representatives and all state assemblies. The coalition, comprising of 200 women's groups, is also demanding a review of 5 gender bills which were rejected by the 9th Assembly. The secretary of the mega coalition, Atinuke Olaolu, issued a statement today in Abuja expressing the group's frustration with the lack of progress in promoting gender equality in Nigerian politics. In business, the federal government may begin payment of the planned increase in civil servants' pay by the end of this month. Speaking to journalists, the Director of Press and Public Relations, Ministry of Labour and Employment, Olajide Oshundu, revealed that the 3 months arrears of January, February and March would be paid at a later date. Mr. Oshundu, however, said he could not confirm if the proposal by the government committee saddled with the task had been finally approved by the President. Elsewhere, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority says air passengers will soon start to get 100% instant refund anytime an airline cancels a flight. NCAA Director General Captain Musa Nuhu, who spoke on China's television program today, said this will become effective once a new regulation in the pipeline is signed into law. Now in entertainment, Nigerian singer Davido has admitted that he dropped out of university to pursue his musical career but was bribed by his father to return to school. In an interview, the singer explained that as a way to motivate him, his father resorted to promising to build him a world-class studio and pay for his music videos. Davido acknowledged that the promises were strong enough to make him reconsider his decision and enroll back into the university. In sports, Manchester City have submitted a planning application for a £300 million expansion of Etihad Stadium. The club wants to increase the current capacity of 53,400 to 60,000 by expanding the North Stand. Proposals include a sky bar overlooking the pitch and a stadium roof walk experience.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
On the foreign scene, the Indian Supreme Court is hearing final argument on a number of petitions seeking to legalize same-sex marriage. The hearings are being live-streamed in public interest. with same-sex couples and LGBTQ plus activists hoping for a judgment in their favor and the government and religious leaders strongly opposing same-sex union. The debate is turning out to be a lively one. Mixed reactions are still trailing last Saturday's supplementary election in Rivers State. Rivers State PDP has disagreed with reports of voter apathy in last Saturday's supplementary election in the state. Hoodlums have prevented the arrest of suspected drug dealer in Mile 3 Dio, Port Harcourt. Police have begun moves to apprehend the abductors of PDP chieftain in Port Harcourt. Federal High Court in Abuja has reinstated Ifeanyi Ararume as non-executive chairman of NNPC. On the foreign scene, court in India has begun historic same-sex marriage debate. The news was edited by Onyekachi Wonsu. Sunny weather in Port Harcourt this afternoon. Remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Kala Dakorubatibo. Good afternoon and do stay tuned. Sunny Side with Constance Mega is up next.